at the hospital.
Like to check, like if you check.
In the hospital with Grandma. Water broke and he still breached. So Daddy's home with the oldest. And it was his birthday yesterday. He turned 3. Mommy didn't even do her hair. And I'm leaking and gonna have to go for a C-section.
To be continued.
I haven't done an update, so.
To be continued.
Not telling you because I don't know what's going on.
Hi guys, it's been a couple weeks since I've been on here. I figured to do like a little story time and update on what's been going on. So last time I checked in, I was in the hospital. And I don't remember how far I got into everything. I think I said I was having a C-section, but it was a very scary experience. I celebrated my son's birthday. We took him to Chuck E. Cheese, which I haven't put like a little collage together of that. I just completely forgot to like do anything, but I did take videos of him being there. And then on his actual birthday, we had a little cake and dinner. Got him McDonald's, and then I got something separately, bean ice cream, something else, and just had a couple family members over. It wasn't anything crazy, and did not think that the night that we celebrated my son's birthday, that a couple hours later, I was gonna be in the hospital, and that was not like okay with me at all because I felt so bad because I left before my son woke up and I was in the hospital the whole day, and because of what was going on, they didn't allow any kids in to the room that I was in, and I didn't get seen until the next day besides FaceTime. So what happened was I didn't feel any contractions. I kept taking my progesterone. Like I asked my doctor for permission and he's like, yeah, it's fine, you could take it, like I've said in my other vlogs. But I was just afraid. I wasn't ready. But my son is like a little smart butt because he decided to wait until a couple of hours after after his brother's birthday. So I went to bed late, so I was literally running off for 3 hours sleep as it was. I took my progesterone. My progesterone did not melt it away. Because when I went to check, it was like still like certain substance where like it wasn't melted. Hold on. I went to go check on him. The little one's sleeping, but he's still awake. He's watching his YouTube. So, anyways, I got up, thought like I had a fart. So I pushed and all of a sudden I was like, uh-oh. Mind you, before all this happened, I went to the bathroom, took my liner off, so I wanted to breathe down there. And then I had discharge my whole life. I've had discharge throughout my whole pregnancy, even with my last one. I had this slimy, thick substance come out. And mind you, it was like worse than how it was throughout the pregnancy. Like even times when it was like thicker than other times. And I got scared because I was like, oh no, because after 37 weeks, and I was like, this is my mucus plug. And as far as I know, is you could lose your mucus plug, but it won't happen like that, like everything like escalating. So I was planning on packing my stuff for the hospital, but I was praying that if anything, that my doctor would be like, you know what, it's okay, we can go until 42 weeks. Yeah, well, life had out of the plans. So you guys know that my son was breached and that we had 2 other options. If one didn't happen, the other one was going to happen. But I was praying that if anything, it would be like a whole turnaround. So, what is it? I told his father, I said, tomorrow, I said, I have to go do laundry. I said, because I'm afraid that my mucus plug came out and I'm getting nervous now. He's like, all right. So, anyways, I have Jacqueline Hill playing on YouTube. So, anyways, go to sleep, put my progression. I had cereal at like 12 midnight, 2 bowls of Simsel Crunch. Go to sleep. I had absolutely no contractions. The only thing I would ever feel is the baby moving. I would call it tightening sometimes because I've had that since like since 14 weeks gestation. I did not feel anything, no pain, no nothing. So I had asked his father to stay home with him just because if he wakes up, it's either mom or dad. It's no one else that he doesn't like. He knows grandma, but I'm talking about like people that he normally wakes up to. And if it's if it's not me, it's dad, and if it's not dad, it's me or both of us. So I just didn't want to confuse him, didn't want to scare him, nothing. So dad went, and I was gonna drive myself, but no one wanted me to drive just in case I had contractions or another gush. So, anyways, before I get into that, because this is how my mind works, I go from not idea, but topic to topic. So I get up, and I was like, oh no. Let me tell you, you're not peeing yourself. Like, it's uncontrollably coming out and it's warm, and you just feel like you're peeing yourself. I was nervous. Mind you, it's not my first time going through this, but still very nervous. I was like, oh, this ain't happening. It's not happening. And I was like, yeah, I think this is happening. So I was like in shock. And I was going to go to the bathroom, and I also got my pants were completely soaked. Progression didn't melt all the way. I had water on my floor. It was clear, crystal clear. So I was like, okay. So I woke Mike up, and I was like, I think my water broke. And he just gave me a look like, are you kidding me? For some reason, I seem to have late night babies. Even on my first one, it was late night, going into like very early morning, like late at night, but like after midnight. This one decides, very early morning. Woke up at like 3:30 in the morning. Was on my way to the hospital after 4. Hold on, I gotta check on them. All right, both of them are now asleep. My oldest one just fell asleep. But anyways, I called my doctor. Well, I first texted grandma because I was just so nervous, and I was like, I don't even know if I should bother my doctor. Like, I don't know. But obviously, I called my doctor, and he was just like, is he breached? And I was like, I guess so. I didn't feel any turn or anything. So he's like, all right. He goes, he had to call me back, and then he was like, you need to get to the hospital right now. He goes, you need to be monitored. So I was like, all right. So I'm just waiting for grandma to get here, to give me a ride there or whatever. And he's like, all right. He goes, just get there. And then we got lost because she went a different way than I'm used to. We get there. I walk in, and I'm like, Savannah, I said my name, and then I was like, I'm 37 weeks pregnant, and my water broke. So they called, labor and delivery, maternity, and my doctor obviously called them. I had to wait for my doctor to get there though. And I'm sorry, it's just because it was just such, like, it was craziness. It was just so fast of how it went. They kept saying C-section, and I was just like, please tell me this is like a rumor. But no, and mind you, I literally had an appointment, like an upcoming stress appointment again, and never made it. It always seems like every single time I have an appointment coming up, I never make it. So my nerves got the best of me. I was in the bathroom a couple times. If you think that's TMI, then I'm sorry, but once you're a parent, whatever, it's not TMI, and I'm just being real with you of my story of what happened and what can happen. So they, asked me questions. They took my information down. Even I did a paper before about, my insurance and all that for the hospital registration, but they just did it again. My hair is not part of it, right? So, they did everything they had to, put my wristbands on, allergy, the ultrasound machine wasn't working at first for like 10 minutes. They had to do the ultrasound just to like make sure that like how they were gonna go about the procedure, whether it was vaginal or C-section. I didn't know what to wish for because I remember how much pain I was in when I was given a Pitocin. I remember how bad my posture was for the first couple of weeks, coming home, recovering. And I never went for a surgery other than wisdom teeth removal. So it was very scary. I didn't know what to wish for. what I was, going to expect if I had C-section. Now I know I'm experienced, and everyone's different too. So they finally got it to work, and they're like, he's so breached, and I was like, I am so effed. Well, he was breached as in, instead of him being sideways, he went to turn. Instead of him turning, like head down, he went feet down. His head was up. So I was like, oh my God. So my nurse got to me, again, like I said, twice. Went to the bathroom. They prepped me for a C-section. I had to wait for my doctor to get there. Go into the room, scared as anything, but the team did amazing, like calming me down and like trying to calm me down and just trying to talk to me and tell me I was doing so good, which, I was so grateful that I had amazing doctors, nurses, just like, the OR, it was amazing. So anyway, they were like making jokes saying like, oh, like stop, like, praising your doctor, just and that, whatever, like it's something about his head being like, the room wasn't big enough for his head or something like that. But it was scary. We have blood pressure issues in family. I've had blood pressure issues with my first pregnancy, but it wasn't anywhere bad. Like they didn't have to manage it, but it was like back and forth. My blood pressure was so high that I think the monitor just kept going off, and they're like, do you want a cocktail? And I'm like, since when does hospital serve alcohol? And I was like, like, wait for me to drink. I was like, I mean, it's only like, 6 in the morning, but sure, anything to chill. And my son wasn't even out of me yet. But my son was born at 6:39 a.m. And they're 3 years and 1 day apart. And so, I mean, it's like he's a smart ass. And it's like, Mom, I did what you asked me to do. Yeah, I didn't think it would be a couple hours later, though. So that was funny. But it was crazy. I mean, I didn't feel anything besides like just like tugging, and then I don't know if this is when they pulled my son out of me, but I all of a sudden just felt like this pressure on my chest, and it was like a pull, and then I was like, oh, and they're like, you're fine, and then it felt like they were moving the bed left and right, like they were like every single time the doctor went to one side, then the bed went to that side. But they did amazing, but let me tell you, I couldn't move the first day. You're not allowed to move. I was so hungry because I was on ice chip diet at first. I was so itchy from the iodine. I still have stuff on my stomach just because I'm not trying to sit there and irritate my stomach by scratching everything off. I left within 2 days. I knew I was fine because they started taking everything off me and my daughter. And I told my doctor I was like upset that I wasn't home like with my oldest, and because of the way I had to leave, I just felt like I abandoned him, but I didn't. But he understood because he came to visit me, and I was like, Mom, I'll be home soon. Like he understood. He's a very smart boy, and I just missed having my own life. Being able to have a different soda, being able to have something different for food, being able to watch my own TV, just do my own thing. So my doctor was like, you can go home tomorrow if you want. And he was just like, you're not hooked up with anything, right? And I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, because you're just here just in case you want, help from nurses. So I'm like, oh. I was like, okay. And he goes, he did my son's, was it, why can't I think of it? Circumcision. Because I was like, oh, like he was supposed to get circumcision. And I said, I didn't, I can go home tomorrow. He goes, yeah, because I'm coming in here right now to get your consent. He goes, I can put the discharge papers in for you to go home tomorrow if you want. I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. So it was weird because the nurses were like, in a way, trying to talk me into staying, but then also like trying to like get me out. So it was like weird. But I was very itchy from everything. I couldn't stop itching. I even had medicine for that. It was so hard though, but I did exactly what they told me to do, which was when I first got up, I just did, put your feet out first. Obviously, I had nurses help me put my feet out first. And then they sat me up and then they told me, they're like, whatever you do, don't go back down. Just sit there, wait for your feet to touch the floor, give it a few minutes because, like I said, I haven't moved or anything. And they kept like these, like, it felt like, when you take blood pressure on your arm, that's what it felt like on my legs. I had one on each calf that would move periodically just to keep like blood flowing. But they did that. They also like made sure that like my joints were working. Like they would hit your knee like gently just to make sure that everything was working fine, which my legs decided to do when they wanted to do it. But I was able to move. I was able to walk. I sat on the bed. I gave it probably about like 10 seconds. And then I had each nurse on each arm. A nurse on each arm, sorry. And they're like, you let me know when you're ready. So I said, all right. So I'm sitting down, and then I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. So they're like, whatever you do, don't sit back down. They're like, take a deep breath, and then as you go up, exhale, and just look forward. Exactly what I did. It felt really weird. I also had a binder on me and had another bandage. The other bandage was taken off the night before I left. My doctor went to check on me. Let me tell you, I hated when the nurses had to check like my stomach. They had to push down. I hated it. I dreaded it, and I told my doctor that. But I understand they're doing their job, so I just sucked it up. But I made sure because I keep the binder with me and on me. And my doctor was like, yeah, that's fine. I took it off for my first shower home just because it was filthy and everything. So, and I haven't put it back on. But was that I kept moving, and because air goes into you, it was uncomfortable. It went up to my shoulders, which they told me it'll go up to my shoulders. They also gave me this thing to blow into to help get the air out. And they're like, the only way it's gonna get out too is by you moving around. It's not gonna be comfortable at first, but you gotta do it if you want to get better. And then he saw me moving around as time went on, and I saw him say, yes, he told me if I want to get better, I had to do this. And I just kept being praised for it, so that felt good, because it's my first time going through this. I couldn't believe it. And also, it was an emergency C-section, because not only was he breached, but for the first time ever, they found protein in my urine, so I started developing preeclampsia. So that was still happened for a reason, So the only way to get rid of that is by, delivering your baby. Which, speaking of, hold on. I keep going into the kitchen so I don't bother them, but I also have my TV on too, because I remember when my oldest was born, they told me to keep TV on and live your normal life. For them to adjust to sleep instead of, because if anything, you're not going to have a life. So that's fine. So, yeah, he adjusted to sleep instead, so we're good. So, yeah, I had no idea that I was developing preeclampsia. That's actually really scary, because I never had that problem before. Sorry, I have YouTube playing, like I said before. I'm just trying to remember each thing. Also, when I was leaving, they told me I couldn't live for 2 weeks, which sucked because I couldn't even drive locally. And sure, I can Instacart and DoorDash, but paying extra on Instacart prices are more than store prices. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Someone made a huge fart. Huge fart as in dookie. So anyways, what was I saying? So yeah, it's just annoying how to pay extra for those services and fees and all that. And I feel so bad because I could lift up my son, and my son wanted me to lift him up, because whenever go into the freezer, I lift him up because he likes to do everything. He tries to be independent. The microwave goes off, or if it's opening, he wants to do it. And he likes to wash his hands. He likes to, put the water. So everything that we were doing, I felt so bad that I couldn't do it because I couldn't risk the, incision area. So also postpartum also you know, it did get the best of me a couple times. I was crying just because I was like, I feel like I was like taken away from my son, even though my youngest one is sleeping all the time. But I've had so much mom guilt because I had the way I had to leave and not seeing him for a whole day. And I was like, I can only imagine what's going through his head. Like, I really hope he doesn't think mommy abandoned me. And it was just really upsetting to think about. And then I was just like crying, just like thinking about past life, you know, just like back when I was a teenager and when my relationship was fresh and everything. I don't know, it was just these stupid little, like, besides like mom guilt, I had all these little things that were just bothering me. I went through it with my first son too, but I only had like just a couple nights and that was fine, you know. So because I mean, obviously, like your hormones are everywhere. Like whether you had it vaginally or C-section, your hormones are bouncing like no tomorrow. It is insane. Like some people need to manage it better than others. But hold on a second. I don't remember where I left off, but also don't mind the background. If you see anything, I gotta straighten up this place more. I started before, but then mom life happens. So anyways, I have little guy in my arms right now. Just trying making him a bottle. I'm also doing formula, if anything, but I am pumping. And I think I've been doing breast milk more than formula. So, anyways, I think I remember a little bit what I was saying, but I told the nurse, I said, well, like you guys told me that if I want to feel better and, you know, get back to myself, I gotta get up. I can't baby it. And I am very stubborn, meaning like, I took my Motrin whenever they came in and brought it, but like, I refused anything else and didn't want anything else. And I told them I was like the same thing at home, that I'm not someone to run to anything, especially if I have like a headache. I won't just like run and get like Tylenol or Excedrin migraine. I'll go down the list and be like, did I eat anything today? Did I drink anything today? Was are my glasses enough? Am I too stressed out? Did I get at least a couple hours sleep? You know, like I try to do that. So anyways, go ahead. So anyways, yeah, it was crazy. And like I said, like some people, they deal with postpartum better than others, and some people need to be on something for it, which, you know, you do you gotta take care of yourself. Don't try and be macho about it. If you feel like you need help, then you get it, so that way you can live the best life for you and your children, you know. Like, everyone is different, everybody is different. Just because one person can do something doesn't mean everybody else can do it, you know. Don't ever feel ashamed either. Just for anyone who's watched my videos and whatever, trust me, it can be hard. Get your moments, you know. The one nurse told me that if I'm feeling overwhelmed, like, you know, with a dog and having 2 kids and just like in life, that if I'm having like anxiety too, to take like 5 minutes and go to like a quiet room and just like, you know, decompress. So I've had to do it only once, and she's just saying that, you know, it can make things worse, which it can, but also when you have, you know, a major surgery too, it does not help the body at all. And she was just going over like a whole list of things on like what to look out for, because, you know, I've never been through this before. So it's been crazy. That was crazy. And just like adjusting to like, you know, life with like 2 kids, it actually wasn't as crazy as I thought it was gonna be, because I mean, he's still sleeping all day. He's a good sleeper and he loves eating and, you know, using the bathroom, so I'm blessed with that. Both of them are really good sleepers, so it's easier because he's sleeping, you know, all day and all night, besides like when he gets, you know, up, whatever, so I can give my time to my son, my oldest son. But of course, you know, as I get older, I have to, you know, divide, and, you know, when he's more alert, you know what I'm saying? It's not, he's 3 right now. So when he becomes more older and just more active and can do things too, you know, he'll have like his brother to hang out with too, and sure, it'll be crazy, but it'll be more fun. And then, you know, you balance things. You balance out life and say, like, you know, if you want to just make it like, you know, the oldest child and like, you know, mom and me day, daddy and me day, or, you know, whatever, you know, you build that time in. So I think adjusting to like this life wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's just the only difference is that it's, instead of having one kid, you have two kids. So now it's like, okay, even though there's two parents, still, you know, you gotta give, you know, your love and attention to the one kid. Also take care of them, you know, whatever. It's not like, if you don't feel good, unless like the parents okay with it, like you chilling out for a little bit. Again, like a lot of people don't understand, like if you have two kids now, so it's not easy to just be like, oh, let me just sit down or whatever. You just still, you know, you gotta still get up. You know, sometimes, like, as I told people, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I have a little help, but I still gotta, you know, do things. Yeah. It's not like I have one kid where it's just like, oh, whatever. So, but anyways, I can't believe how long it's been. Yeah. You don't want it? Okay. Hold on a second. Also, to the hospital, they tried telling me that I was 36 weeks. I was like, no, I'm not. 37 weeks. And then when they asked me my due date, they're like, oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, duh. I went for my 2-week checkup this morning, and I lost weight, which I knew was going to happen because I don't really have an appetite. I mean, I've always had a problem with that my whole life, so it's nothing new. But I didn't weigh as less as I thought I was gonna weigh, thank God. And I made sure my blood pressure was fine. I heard my doctor ask the medical assistant too, like, you know, is everything okay? So that was fine. I was told that like I was able to shower. I asked him like when I was in the hospital, and he said yeah, it's fine. And I could also use whatever soap I'm comfortable with, and you know, I don't have to like necessarily wash the incision like that, like, you know, very like whoosh, whoosh. Just if anything, just like let the water and soap from like my hair, like, or just like up here, like run down. So I was at 2 weeks of, what was it, I had to go in for my 2-week checkup this morning, which was funny because my original due date, which I didn't think of when I first did the appointment, and I went online to the patient portal, and I just took whatever was first available, and it was just funny. And I went in today, and my incision is healing, and there is no signs of infection, thank God. He did tell me that I have to come back in 4 weeks, just like make sure everything is still, you know, going good. I'm still under restrictions. I'm still cut off from a lot of things because obviously the outside I can see, but inside you can't see. So I'm still healing internally, being that, you know, they had to get in there. From what I was told was that he like had to take out my organs just to get to the baby, which is absolutely insane to even think about. So he also said for me driving, I still can't drive, but if I'm in a car, to minimize the time, just be local. He said because it doesn't even have to be necessarily me, it could be other drivers, and God forbid I get into an accident, you know, because again, you don't know what's going on inside the incision area. I can feel my stomach, but the lower I get to like get to the incision area, it's numb. I still can't feel a thing, but it's gonna take time to heal. Again, it was major surgery. They had to go in me like layers of, you know, skin and, you know, whatever, just to get the baby out. So it's a weird feeling. It really is. Uh-oh. 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 It's okay. It's okay. But other than that, everyone's happy and healthy. which is good news. It just sucks I can't lift or do anything. But I understand why I can't. Really? Mom life. Also, I do have a bottle warmer because even if you pump too, if you breastfeed and also pump, but also like formula too, if it's opened, obviously after a certain amount of time you gotta, like, you put it in the fridge and you gotta heat it up. So I have my bottle warmer since I had my first son, and then I also have a pump for my first son, which I didn't know I had, forgot. I got the nursing pads, breast milk storage bags. So far I've been able to pump at least 7 ounces. I think almost 8, but definitely 7. I got the hands-free pumps from Amazon, and I also got a free breast pump again through my insurance company, which I didn't. They did until when I was in the hospital. So that's amazing. I haven't tried that out yet, but I like the hands-free because then I don't have to be stationed and connected. I could just go with the flow. But unfortunately, I can't fit into regular bras, so I've been wearing the sports bras I've been wearing throughout the whole pregnancy. I just have to get new bras. I just get lazy. And I'll spend money on food. Obviously, you need food, but I won't spend money on myself, like taking care of myself. Besides this, I haven't even got my nails done since like before my son's birthday. His father keeps telling me to do it, but I don't ever make time for myself. I mean, I could do it, but I just don't ever do it. I don't make time for myself to do it. It's really bad. I give my kids everything I possibly can, but when it comes to me, I like lack it, which is annoying. I like neglect taking care of myself just to make sure that my kids are okay, you know? But that's another thing. Make sure you take care of yourself as well. You really just smacked that out of your mouth again? Alright. I gotta go figure out something to eat and drink something because I need to also drink more and pee more, because whether you do it vaginally or C-section, you can build up the blood and you do not want a blood clot. So do better than me and make sure that you're doing everything you're supposed to do and you're taking care of yourself. Take your vitamins if you need to. I'm still taking my vitamins. You can take the prenatals before, during, and after pregnancy because it's good for you. So you could always do that too. And also the boys went for their doctor's visits too. But I'm gonna leave that video, the update, just for them. So that way they have one for them, it's not collided. There's certain things I share together, but then I also want my boys to have their own things, you know? But I do have to figure out what I'm gonna eat and drink. I am more thirsty than anything, but it's like I don't have the motivation to do it, you know? So I was thinking about getting the during pregnancy, my last one, I was taking the Ensure Plus chocolate flavor, just because the GNC was 1340 calories, and I just didn't want to like chance anything with the pregnancy because of how much calories that was versus the Ensure, which was 250 calories. So I'm gonna see, just because there is a $10 price difference, but I was thinking about doing a GNC one because if you want to feel better about yourself too, you gotta, you know, make changes. So I'm planning on doing that. I'm planning on, when I get better, to try and maybe work out at least at home, and then when it's nice out, take more walks and go to the park more. So we have goals, and I do want to get back into career because I want to give my kids better, and also if I can do something from home, perfect. You know, I'm someone that I don't trust a lot, which is, you know, fine with me because, you know, it's my kids and the way things are nowadays, and you know what you go through. Not everyone talks about things, but everyone goes through something. So anyways, I'm gonna get off here. I just wanted to give an update because it's been a couple weeks, but I wanted just a life and just, you know, try to get back into the swing of things, and also, you know, just stabilize. Because like I said, hormones are everywhere. But anyways, if anything, if I forgot anything, I'll do a new video. But I wanted to give a little update on that. And also, if I could help out someone, then awesome. And it just, like, having these videos just for me to have something to look back on. It's kind of cool when you look at how far you've come, whether, like, regardless of what it is. But if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't. Which, on that note, I do check my my YouTube studio, and I have noticed that I think I gained about 2 or 3 subscribers. So I just want to say thank you to those of you who are, you know, supporting me one way or another. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. And if I can help, awesome. If you have any questions, please message me or leave a comment or whatever. But anyways, thank you again for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful night.